Hi and welcome to My Joyful Home. This is my complete KonMari series where I will be walking you through Marie Kondo's acclaimed process for fully decluttering your home. And all the while I will be keeping things very simple and easy so that ultimately you can achieve a fully decluttered home and life. So if this is your first time finding my channel, welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. Do consider subscribing. You can hit the red subscribe button down below as well as the little bell notification as well. And what that'll do is it'll give you updates of when I have new content. And if this is in fact the first video of mine that you're watching, I actually recommend pausing just for the time being and catching yourself up with the previous two videos that I have in the series. And for convenience, I will have them linked down below in the description. This video really builds upon the previous two, so it is important that you know what I'm referencing by watching the first two videos. So today's video, I am so excited to be talking to you about. This really is the essence of the KonMari Method. It's what makes it so uniquely special and equally life-changing. So today I'm going to be walking you through the two different, distinctly unique types of spark joy. And I'll be doing so by breaking things down as easy and simple as possible, but also providing personal examples of things that I experienced, as well as examples from my work with clients. But as always, if at any point you need clarification, you need things to be explained a little bit better, or you have questions, unique questions even to yourself, please feel free to get clarification by leaving a comment down below, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. So the first type of spark joy is what most people who even know a little bit about the KonMari Method are probably familiar with, but I do want to really break this down and make it as clear as possible. So what it means to spark joy is to truly tap into how you feel about a certain item, void of external negative feelings, okay? And the way that we're going to do this, and I'll actually give the example of a book, okay? So you're ready to tidy all your books, you have all your books laid out before you. To determine if something sparks joy, pick up book number 1 and actually hold it to yourself. Now, I know it seems a little strange. It felt actually uncomfortable for me the first time that I did it. I felt sort of awkward about it, but there is something to be said, and trust me on this one, for holding an item close to yourself, because it really does, for the strangest reason, allow you to tap into your innate feeling towards something. And so you're really just in the moment today going to ask yourself whether or not this book makes you happy, whether or not it brings you joy. And joy feels like little butterflies. It feels like a happiness inside of you. You're going to know it right away. It may not seem like it listening to this video, but I promise you, once you put into practice the art of sparking joy with things, you'll know exactly what I'm referring to. Now, what often happens, and this is what you have to learn to let go of, and it only comes with practice, is all of the negative feelings that can easily enter our mind. So for example, you're holding a book, you might start to think about the cost associated with the book. Maybe it was an expensive book, maybe you bought it for $25 and you're thinking about that and oh my goodness, what a waste. Or maybe you're thinking, oh gosh, this was a gift from somebody, they wrote a really nice passage in the inside, a little note to me, gosh, I feel bad letting go of it where it was a gift. Maybe you're feeling guilt because you had good intentions for the book. Maybe you were planning on reading it, you never really got around to it, now you're feeling bad that you never got around to it. And you can really sort of allow negative thoughts to run away from you, and it can happen time and time again with all types of different things. But we're really just called in this practice to think about the here and the now, and whether or not something makes us happy today. Not yesterday, not good intentions way back when, not tomorrow, maybe I'll get around to it, just today. Does it bring me joy? Does it make me happy? And if it doesn't, let it go, and do not, do not for a second question that. Let it go. Okay, and let it go in gratitude. And that also allows you to free up any guilt. Guilt's a big word I find with this process, but it really does allow you to let go of it, void of any reservations. So let it go, allow somebody else to enjoy that book, and move on to the next book and the next book and the next book. And each time you're going to bring a book to yourself, the same as your clothing and other items that you will eventually work your way through. You're going to bring them to yourself, and it will become easier. By the time I finished the process, I didn't really have to physically hold everything to myself to know whether or not it sparked joy, but that comes with time. So that is the main type of spark joyness. Is that the word I want? And the other type is more utility based. And now there's really two different types of this, and I want to really clarify. So the first type, and Marie Kondo actually refers to this in, I want to say her first book, possibly her second, but she references letting go of a hammer and having something that she wanted to hang on her wall. And prior, she had let her hammer go, because really holding up a hammer, unless you're maybe a carpenter, or you have a special hammer, or maybe you have an heirloom hammer that means a lot to you, but for most of us, a hammer on its own does not spark a lot of joys, but I'm trying to get at here. So she let it go. And then when it came time to hang whatever it was she was hanging, she realized, I don't have a hammer. And so she was trying to think of an alternative that she could use to hammer in the nail. So I think she was looking at a bottle and a shoe and this and that. And really in that moment, she had, a little aha on, shoot, I should have kept the hammer, because it would have brought me joy in this moment based on convenience alone and serviceability. So when you're going through items like tools, kitchen gadgets and utensils, electronics even, on the surface, they might not spark a whole lot of joy for you, but when you think about their purpose and what they bring to your life and the ease and convenience that they provide, they start to spark joy. And we'll talk about these types of items as we go through the process, but for now I just want you to be aware of that type. Now the second type of more utility spark joy I actually experienced when going through my clothing, which is coincidentally the first grouping of tidying items that you'll go through. And so it probably didn't happen the first time I decluttered my clothing, but the second round it really did. And I recognized a pair of black dress pants that I had actually quite recently purchased. And when I was holding them up, compared to my everyday pants that I live in, I work from home, so I'm always comfortable. That's quite important to me. I realized that these black dress pants really are probably like a 3 on the spark joy meter up to 10, where all of my other pants that I've determined I want to keep are 10 out of 10. So what do I do with these black pants? And I really felt conflicted, because I didn't want to let them go, because despite not wearing them every day or wanting to wear them really at all, I needed them. There were occasions where I needed to be more formally dressed, and those were my go-to. They went with every blouse, every dress sweater, really everything that I had that was more formal in nature, and so they were really serviceable. So again, this is an example of keeping something because it serves a purpose. And when I really thought even bigger than that about these pair of pants, I realized, when I have a really nice blouse on with the pants and I have all of my nice accessories and my hair's done, I feel really great, and the pants allow all of that to come together for me. And then it really started to grow to where I actually really liked the pants. So that was a moment for me that I wanted to share with you, because once you start tidying your clothing, you may experience that right out of the gate. So I want you to be aware of that and really think about it too if you encounter the same. And then there's almost a different type altogether, where you will recognize items. This may also occur for you when going through your clothing, where certain items in the here and now they don't spark joy, and you know that you can't really make it right in your mind for them to spark joy. So you know that they need replacing, okay? But to let go of them today, not having a replacement is not an option. And I've had a lot of clients experience this with work attire, the clothing that they have that they really only wear in the workplace. It's not easy to let go of those items because maybe you only have like 2 pencil skirts, and maybe you only have like 2 pairs of dress pants or whatever. You don't have an overabundance really to let go of anything, yet on the whole, none of it really makes you happy. So yes, you're going to be grateful in the here and now that you have those options, but moving forward, looking for replacements, my first suggestion is to start a journal, or for me, I just like the convenience of having this in the note section on my phone, a running list of the things that you're looking for replacement. So every time you go shopping, before you hit the stores, you reference that running list so that it's at the forefront of your mind what you're looking for. But in the interim, to bridge that gap between, you know, having something but knowing you want to let it go, and then either saving the money, which was for me a big one, and 2, actually finding that item, because once you start to tap into things needing to spark joy, that being like the ultimate criteria of whether or not you buy something, it takes a lot more time because you're not just buying like I used to according to sales or just like making do with whatever. You allow yourself to be grateful for that time, and really ultimately this is all a learning process, and I wish I knew this when I was going through my own KonMari journey. And if you caught my series, and I always have that link down below as well, I was frustrated often because I really thought it needed to be sorted today. And now that I know that it does take time, and I'm always working on it. It's so much easier than it was. I mean, it doesn't even compare. But the fact that I'm always learning, and I'm always growing, and I'm always kind of doing more of a deep dive on what it means to spark joy for me in my life and my home, the more I was able to breathe. And I want you to know that before you even begin your tidying, because that will make such a difference for you, is to really just give yourself that grace of knowing that this is a learning experience, and you will fine tune, and you will revamp, and you will revise in time. But for now, let's just focus on, you know, sparking joy, on learning what that means, and really honoring it in your life and throughout this entire process. So this, as all my videos have been so far and probably will continue to be, is really sort of information heavy, and I know that it is. So it is really important for me to convey again that if you have any questions, if you need clarification, if you have a very specific example that you feel comfortable to share, please leave that in the comment section. This whole series is community based, and I want it to be. So even if you don't have a question, check out the comment section. There may be a question posed that you didn't even think about, but yet it will prove helpful to you in your journey. So definitely take a few moments, go through the comment section, leave a comment, and if you do find this video of value, please let me know by way of just a thumbs up. That means a lot to me, and I look at every comment, I look at every thumbs up, and it really does validate me sharing this in this way. So until my next video, which is going to be different because we're going to be jumping into tidying. We're going to be starting with our clothing. I hope this finds you well. I hope you have a wonderful day or night, as the case may be, and we will chat real soon. Bye for now.